Hello everyone, Niev here, and today I am doing the first in a series, and this is the Venus in Transit series, and this was started by BB at Pure Red Velvet. Yeah, so I saw her videos on her starting this Venus in Transit journey and I was like, I want to do that too. So yeah, and so what I'm doing today, and before I start, I want to say that I am getting over a cold, so my throat quite like it hurts quite a bit here, and but I was determined to get this video out, so I'm pushing through. I may have to pause it a few times to cough, and hopefully I don't miss a cough and have it in the video, but if it happens in the video, that's why I'm getting over a cold. So, and that's also why I'm not really going to be I'm going to try to make this short, or as short as possible, because this is going to be involved. Yeah, so what we have here, I have two cards from the Star Codes Astro Oracle here, and one card representing Venus, and one card representing Sagittarius. And the deck I'm going to use today, I decided on my Moon Crystal Tarot. So I'm just going to pull this out so we can see that here. And of course, this is the bag that I made for it. It's a Sailor Moon themed deck. So this is, like I said, it's a moon. It's a Sailor Moon themed deck. So, so Venus, of course, it represents love and the heart, and it can represent romance or relationships in general. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. Yeah, and it's generally, I think of Venus as sort of how we interact with those in our inner circle, or also wanting to how we want to bring in people to our inner circle. So yeah, that's more what I think about here. And let me see what the Star Codes actually says about Venus, because I'm not sure. Let's see. I'm just going to skim this real quick. Okay, yeah, right at the top, Venus symbolizes your heart, romance, and the creative process. Right, I knew I was missing something. The creative process. So it's what attracts you, and that's sort of what I was thinking of when I said talking about the people you want to bring into your inner circle. And it, of course, doesn't even have to do with people. It's like what you want to bring into your life. That's what I think of when I think of Venus. Now, Sagittarius. Sagittarius to me is a fun sign. Like, it's very adventurous. It's very playful. Maybe open-minded. Let's see. So Sagittarius asks us to think big, travel far, and use our restlessness and curiosity to create. So both of these have a lot of creation energy to them. So yeah, that is the energy we're going with today. Now, before we start the spread, I am going to try to keep these out here so that we can still have these here. I have a little fun thing to do here. Well, first of all, I have my my spiritual journal, and in here, let's go to the page for Venus in Transit. All right, so I printed this off, and I got all of the dates of the Venus in the Venus transits in 2024, and I will leave a link down below where I got this from. Of course, I just copied and pasted the dates and then went into Photoshop and kind of created my own little thing here, and then printed it off on my Cricut, or printed it off and cut it out on my Cricut. And then over on this side, I put just some of my information. So my chart, my Venus is in Scorpio. And Scorpio's in the 5th house, and Venus is in the 4th house for me. And down here, Venus is in my 4th house. I got this online as well, so I will leave a link down below where I got this information. Yeah, so Venus in the fourth house. The fourth house in astrology represents our home, family, roots, and emotional foundations. It is associated with our sense of security, our childhood, and our ancestors, which I really like because I like a lot of ancestor work, so that makes a lot of sense for me. The fourth house is traditionally ruled by Cancer and is the natural home of the moon. It reflects our private life, our innermost feelings, and our soul's sanctuary. Sorry if you hear the dog's nails or claws clicking on the ground here. She's, she lives here too, so she's walking around. So our innermost feelings and our soul's sanctuary. The fourth house also represents our relationship with our parents, especially the mother. It symbolizes our need for emotional nurturing, stability, and a place of refuge. This house reveals the depth of our emotions and our connection to our ancestral heritage. Okay, so that's that. And then, of course, I have my other, all my other readings from the year, mostly Ganesha readings, things like that. And now we're on this page, and this is the spread that BB was using. And she got it from this site. Let me see if I can read this down here. newagehipster.com or .co. Yeah, so that's where I got. I'll leave a link down below. I printed this off from their site along with two others for the next two signs. Now, these aren't specifically Venus in, these aren't specifically Venus in signs. It's more because this was the Sagittarius season tarot spread. Then we got the Capricorn season tarot spread and the Aquarius season tarot spread. These are just general spreads for basically the sun in these signs. But that's what BB was using for her. So I went ahead and just printed off this one and the next two, and we'll probably stick. I'm gonna make it easier on me and just stick with this person's season spreads. So yeah. So the questions, the prompts for this spread, and it is shaped like Sagittarius here. So, what adventures are calling? What is changing? What wisdom are you learning? How can you align your energy to what you really want? And how can you make it happen? Now, one thing I need to remember as I'm doing this is that, I'm doing this in the context of where Venus is in my chart, which is in the fourth house, and having to do with family and ancestors and things like that. Yeah. The family roots, emotional foundations. So yeah, and this is a sticker, by the way, so I will place this down. And I also grabbed, because this uses a lot of green in this, I'm gonna use greens for my notes here. All right, so that's the note-taking part. And I swear I'm gonna get through all this. I also have other things. So to start things off, I have some cinnamon incense, and I just went through and tried to find some incense that made sense to me, that felt kind of romantic, a certain sense, felt Venus-y, but also had a fun element to it, and I thought cinnamon seemed right. And we're in January right now, so there's still that element of like cinnamon, the Christmas season, energy, and there we go. Ooh, that smells nice. Some cinnamon, and it just, I was just going through all my incense and just trying to see which one felt right. I also have something else to go with this. So I've got a little bowl here, a glass bowl, and I have a purple candle. I would have preferred like magenta, but I don't have a magenta candle, so I thought purple seemed good enough. And I have some oil from the Witch's Moon, one of the old boxes, and this is a kind of a romance sort of oil, so I thought that might be fitting. And this will be a candle that I use throughout the Venus in Transit videos throughout the year. There's going to be about 14 of them. Oh, my dog just sneezed. Bless you. It's because of the incense. Poor puppy. She likes it though. She's like rolling around and wagging her tail. She loves it when I put on incense. But anyway, so this will be the candle that I use for each of the Venus in transits. So I wanted to kind of do something a little special and dress the candle and put it in a bowl with some sacred salt here. Whoops, the dogs. This is also from a Witch's Moon box. I don't know which one. I couldn't find, like, I was trying to find which one I could use for this. And this just was the best option. I was trying to find anything that had to do with love, romance, self-love, or anything like that. So, yeah, so we've got some salt here that I'm going to put in here, and I'm going to dress the candle. All right, let me go ahead and do that. Okay, first things first, I'm going to pour some salt in here and just do a little bit of just some breathing. Imbuing it with some of my energy here for my journey on this Venus in transit activity. I don't know what else to call it. Yeah, and I will put some more salt in here after I put the candle in. But now I'm going to take some of this oil. Trying to breathe without coughing here. All right. So I'm just dressing the candle with some strong emotional energy, the energies of Venus throughout its cycle. All right. And I'm going to stick it in here. Drip some candle wax in there. There we go. And place some more salt in there. It's not exactly in the center of the bowl, but that's okay. There we go. That looks good. And I've got my little wet wipe here to clean my hands. There we go. All right. So we've got that going, and now I'm going to light the candle. All right. So we're going to start this journey of Venus throughout its transits in 2024. And I will light it every time we do one of these videos, one of these spreads. All right. We got that done. I got salt everywhere now. All right. I really am trying to pause it every time I need to cough. Yeah, so what we're going to do now. All right, I'm going to take a few deep breaths, and I'm going to pull out that sticker real quick so that I remember what the spread is, so I don't forget. I'll put it over here. So we're going to have a card go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. All right. So Venus in Sagittarius. So Venus is our creative processes. It's our connection with love. It's our connection with people, relationships, our emotions. And it's that sort of what we want to bring into our lives, into our inner circle, what we want to be intimate with, who or what, and what we want to bring on the closest inside of ourselves. And I'm doing this also in the context of where Venus is in my chart, which is in the 4th house, having to do with love and, or sorry, not love, but family and roots and emotional centers. So how these things might affect me. All right, so what adventures are calling? What adventures are calling? All right. Oh, okay. So I believe this is the Queen of Cups, the Jovian of Cups. I'm going to move these a little bit out of the way here so that they're not quite in the path. All right. So Jovian of Cups. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this sticker down so that I can start writing straight in. I'm going to put this sticker straight down, line it up right there. May not be perfectly straight, but that's fine. And that way I can start writing straight in here. So what is changing? What is changing? Go with this one. Oh, another queen here. The Jovian of Swords. You know what? I think I've already messed up. I've already messed up because I'm pretty certain the Jovians are the kings. And I think it's the Junonians that are the queens. So I've got a correction tape here. Of course this would happen. So here's another Jovian. I just want to see, because the Amazon is the Knights. And this is why I dislike when decks rename things, because I can't always remember what's what, you know? So where is the ones that oh, here's one. Okay, yeah, so these two are kings, not queens, because this is the Queen of Swords, the Junonians. All right, well, we solved that. But it still doesn't quite change what I was going at here. I think this is, so instead of it going down an emotional journey, it is that, but I feel like it's a controlling of emotions. So that's how I would interpret that, which makes more sense. That makes more sense. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And we'll take the green and just fix that. It's fine. It is all a part of the creative process here. All right, so this is actually a king. I'm going to let that dry before I put king on there. All right, so the King of Swords here, or the Jovian of Swords. With the King of Cups, it was more about a sort of emotional maturity and controlling emotions. And what's changing with the King of Swords here is a sort of the truth behind it, or like it's taking a more intellectual approach. So here it's very emotional, but it's like controlling those emotions. And here what is changing is a sense of you know, going a more intellectual route with it. And instead of being so emotional about it, what's changing is a sense of thinking logically about it, about the situation. And I'm being very vague here. And the reason is because this is my reading. This is a reading for me that I'm just sharing with everyone else. And maybe it would resonate with someone else as well. And I'm not exactly looking for input on it, but at the same time, I'm open to hearing what some people have to say in regards to the spread. But you know, I'm trying not to be too personal here, but so far it is something that does make sense for my life and what's been happening. So the next one is what wisdom are you learning? And I did so far write in a little bit. I think I'm going to write the rest at the end. I was going to do it as I was going along, but I think it makes more sense to just go ahead and do it at the end. So I'm reshuffling because I had to look at the deck again. So what wisdom are you learning? Okay, and by you, that means me. What wisdom am I learning? So here where I'm on an emotional journey of learning how to control some of my emotions here and not letting them overtake me and having some emotional maturity in regards to something, which makes sense to me. And then what's changing is a sort of shift of consciousness, a shift of thinking. Instead of like dwelling in an emotional side of things, what's changing is taking a more practical or intellectual route here. So what wisdom am I learning right here? What wisdom am I learning? And I'm just trying to move these around here. So, all right. So Ace of Cups. Oh, all right. So I think this has a lot to do with what wisdom I'm learning is understanding my emotions and letting them out. And I think of the Ace of Cups as kind of I think of it like tears falling down of an overflow of emotions. And instead of bottling those things up, letting them out. So what I'm learning is I'm learning to talk about what it is that I'm feeling. I'm learning to let it out and say, look, this is how I'm feeling. I'm controlling it. And I'm letting it out, but I'm also learning how to take a more intellectual approach to it. Just trying to move this up a little. I gotta move this out of the way. All right, constantly adjusting here. All right, we'll put this here. All right, so the next one is how can you align your energy to what you really want? How can I align my energy to what I really want? Here we go. This is a queen, and this is me. This is my significator card, the Queen of Wands. And wow, what a lot of people cards I'm getting in this. All right, so pulling this card, which is my significator card, the Queen of Wands, for how can I align my energy to what I really want? I mean, it makes sense that I would pull the card that represents me in the deck. Yeah, so that's very fitting. I would say if I'm reading this for myself, which I am, this reading is for myself, I would say that this is a sort of really tapping in to myself here and doing things on my own. And this is a bit on the Queen of Wands side of things. There's a strong sense of individuality with the Queen of Wands, and she's also very passionate. So if I'm interpreting this for the collective here, then there would be a sense of going after what really brings passion to your life and what you're passionate about. So that makes sense for that. And I connect that with myself here, and it's just got the added layer that this is my significator card. So yeah, so really tapping into what makes me tick, what I get excited about, what I enjoy creating, what I enjoy doing, my hobbies and passions, and that strong sense of self. So yeah, and then finally the last card is how can I make it happen, or how can you make it happen? If I'm reading for the collective here, how can you make this happen? All right, and we have the Four of Swords. Interesting. So it's almost like we've got a lot of like big energies over here, and then we've got the Four of Swords, which is a card of rest. But it's not just rest, it's also like meditation or contemplation. And especially with it being the swords, it is a card of the mind here. And we have two swords, we've got two cups, and then we've got that fiery passion here with the wands. Yeah, so the swords are a suit of the mind, of the intellect, and I think I feel like this is a sort of a recuperation. It's I have gone through something difficult in 2023, and I've gone through this process, and I'm going through this process of really understanding my emotion, understanding my emotions, bringing a sense of maturity to them, emotional maturity, and controlling those emotions, and taking a more logical approach to that instead of something that doesn't make sense and isn't serving me, figuring out what my passions are, and sort of a recuperation of all of that. Because these are all big things, big energies here. We've got 3 court cards, and 2 of them are kings, one's a queen. This is also something that involves other people, other energies, and so there's a lot of big energies here, and then an overflow of emotions, and trying to contain all that. So I feel like the 4 of Swords here. Sorry, just had a cough. I feel like the 4 of Swords here is a sort of taking all of those big energies and kind of reining them in, and taking some time to stop and think and recoup and think things through. So yeah, so that I think is the end of my reading here. So I'm gonna just kind of put some of these over here. I might take a picture or something for the thumbnail, but anyway, thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I am really looking forward to doing this for the next transit. I know we're kind of at the end here of the Venus in Sagittarius, but I wanted to, I was trying to get this out as soon as possible, and then I got sick. And I had other videos to go up as well. So, yeah, I wish I wasn't so sick when I did this one, but I finally got it done. And I'm going to try to get this up on Saturday. I think that's the 20th. And the next shift, let me go to my page here. So the next Venus in Capricorn is from the 23rd, January 23rd. And it ends on the 15th, because Venus in Aquarius, it starts on the 16th. All right, so I'm going to try to get these videos out sort of midway in between. So instead of, I'm so close to the end of this cycle of Venus in Sagittarius, but yeah, so that's the plan. All right. So thanks to Bibi for coming up with this, and I was looking for something to do, like a single practice to do, along with my monthly deity things, and something like that. I was looking for something to do. So when her Venus in Transit videos came out, I was like, oh, there we go. That's what I'm going to do. So, all right. I'm going to cough again. So I'm going to cut this short. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.